Okie dokie, boys and girls. So today I am back with the high intensity, low volume approach. And just like last time, I'm using this to recover, but in general, I like this approach because it gives you the ability, to build muscle with short workouts. It like basically upping the intensity means that you're containing all of the intensity into one set. And if you know Mike Menzer, he's a bodybuilder, right? His philosophy was that if you truly want to stimulate muscle growth, you only really need one set. You just need to do that set very hard. So by definition, if you do your set hard enough, right? And for example, you do pistol squats. First set, you get 10 pistol squats. If you were to get like another set and do the same set again, same weight, whatever, right? And you still are able to get like 5 or 6 reps, guess what? Your first set was not intense enough. You want to be able to get to the point where if you do your first set and it's like 10 reps, that, the second set you're getting 2 reps barely at maximum, right? Because it's kind of a skill to condense all of the intensity in one skill, in one set as well, right? You have to learn how to do that. You have to get to know the movement to learn how to do that. But once you're able to, you are able to build muscle with just one set, which is kind of cool, However, like for strength, I don't really use it often. I'm using it for the pistol squats now, but I don't do it continuously, because if you want to build strength, there is one aspect, which is how big your muscle is, of course, but there's also the aspect of having to learn the movement pattern, which obviously if you only do one set, that's a bit of a downside, right? You don't get enough practice to learn the movement pattern. To learn a movement pattern, you want to do it over and over and over again. It's like a skill. It's like, if you play the piano, if you practice for hours every day, you're going to be better than if you do 1 hour, right? Intense piano play once every week, right? You're going to be better off spreading it out and upping the volume. And it's kind of the same for strength, you want to learn the movement pattern. So I kind of like to do a balance, but for now, I did the 50-kilometer run 1.5 weeks ago. I'm getting back into the swing of things, and I feel like, I have built the movement pattern already, so I can get back up to my previous strength by using this one set methodology. I mean, for hamstrings, I'll probably do a bit more sets, like maybe 2, but in general, today, low volume, high intensity. And I'm gonna go outside, start with hamstrings. Today, I'm gonna try weighted hamstring curls, Nordic curls. If I am able to do 2 sets of 3 reps, that would be a big PR and a great setup to basically continue towards 20 reps of hamstring curls in general, right? So let's go. Okay, so this is gonna be my last warm-up set. I have 4 kilos in the backpack, which is 9 pounds. Let's see how it feels. Oof. All right. Feels heavy as always, but that's 4 kilos. Now I'm gonna put 6 kilos in the backpack, which is 13 pounds, I guess. And the goal is 3 reps, because at the moment my PR is 2 reps for 2 sets. If I can beat that today by 2 sets for 3 reps, that will be very nice. Yeah, because it will be very nice, because that means I will have gotten back to my original strength and even above before the 50-kilometer run. So let's go. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. All right. Not quite 3 reps. I'm gonna take a long rest and do one more. Revenge. Yes. Fuck yes. I just had to wake up properly. Or the second set form was a little worse. I don't know. I'm gonna check it. I'll get back to you after the break. Dun-dun-dun. Okay, so to be honest, I kind of surprised myself there at the end. The form was not too bad. I would say it was better than the first set. It just fucking happened. I woke up. So very happy with those Nordic curls. And I'm not even going to do a backup because now my tactic is going to be to do a light, pump, feel good session next time for the hamstrings so that I can fully recover and get back into the volume of the Nordic curls. 5 sets of 5 reps. That's 25 reps in total. And I started out with like 10, I believe. So we're well on our way towards those 20 Nordic curls in one set. But now I'm gonna do some pistol squats. And now for the pistol squats, I'm only gonna do one set. Last time I failed after rep number 3 of 36 kilo past pistol squats. And today, well, the only goal is to fucking improve upon that because 3 reps, that's fucking shameful, right? So I'm gonna aim for 8 reps today. And now, will I be able to do 8 reps? I don't fucking know, right? I mean, there's maybe like a 1% chance, but 8 reps is my PR with 36 kilos in the first place. And while it was a little while ago, right, I've gotten stronger since then. I'm gonna do them past now. I'm gonna do past reps, try to get 8, which if I get them, it would be insane. If I don't, that's also fine. I'm gonna get them the time after that and after that. I'm just gonna keep trying, keep failing until I succeed. That's kind of the point of training to failure, right? And especially if you're doing this one single set, you want to leave everything out there in that one set. You don't have a second chance. I mean, it's not like a golden rule that you have to do one set. So you can do a second set and push the remaining stuff out of there. But if you're really trying to focus, your muscle hypertrophy into as little sets as possible, you're gonna have to fucking go through some pain. And that's what I'm gonna do today. So yeah, looking forward to this. It's scary, but it's fun at the same time. So let's get on with it. I'm gonna do a quick warm-up set here first, of course, to see how the 36 kilos feel today. Feels fucking heavy. I'm gonna go for it anyway. Let's go. Ah, 5 reps. Well, I guess that's the goal from last time, that we we're able to check off, but 8 reps will live to see another day. Let's match on the right leg. Basically, I haven't said this in a while, but you know, when you do single leg, single arm stuff, it's a good idea to first do your weak leg and then match with the other, because you put all the intensity in your weaker leg, you know, you can dash out what you have there, and then it will be able to catch up to your strong leg, but not past it, you know, it will get to about the same level. Well, as if you do your first leg or your best leg first, well, of course, you're not going to be able to do the same amount of work on your weak one. So always a good idea to keep the balance and do your weak leg first. So 5 reps left on the right leg. Let's go. It's been a long time coming, boys. We're listening to the Doom Eternal music. And of course, I added this to the horsing playlist on my channel. So training music, you can find it in the playlists on my channel. Let's go. All right. My right leg was a bit easier, but by just matching the amount of reps on the other leg, you know, I'm kind of at the same time not doing as much intensity, you know. I have more intensity on my left leg because that's my true max, while my other one is just matching. And because there is more intensity, more of a stimulus on my left leg, you know, it will be stimulated more to grow stronger, right? And catch up to the other one. So, 5 reps. Next time we get 8. I'm blacking out a little bit, but that's okay because the main sets are done and I have to watch out with my time because I have to head out to work soon. But I do want to do some pistol squats here. No towel under the feet, just the mat. And basically work a little bit on my flexibility because, you know, the reason I put stuff under my heel is to negate my lack of ankle mobility. You know, if I just do a pistol squat on the ground, I can do it. There you go, I fall backwards, right? And that's why I put stuff under my heel. But, you know, lack of mobility is not a good thing, you know. I don't want to use this mat and this towel as an excuse to not train it at all. So I am gonna train mobility, right? But still, strength is the most important part, so I do that first. Now, you know, these mobility pistol squats are kind of my accessories, you know. And when you want to get strong at something, right, doing accessories that are specific to your exercise you want to get strong at is very important. You know, I can do 60 squats as an accessory, you know, go hard on those, but I'm basically expending energy on stuff that is not related to what I want to achieve. So that's why these pistol squats are ideal as an accessory. So let's move on. You know, the legs are hidden in my running pants, but they're in great shape. You know, I think they are starting to really recover. Yeah, really recover from that 50-kilometer run now. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what's to come, basically, because, you know, whatever you experience, right, at some point you're gonna drop down in strength due to whatever reason, you know, whether it's a big training activity, a competition, an injury, right? At some point you're gonna come back down from a peak you had. That's just the way training goes, and it can be daunting, right? You're all the way at the bottom again, and you look up where you used to be, and you think to yourself, shit, I have to climb that far, you know? And it can be daunting, but, you know, it's you're not supposed or you shouldn't aim to go back to that peak all at once, right? You should just aim to do a little better than last training, which is how you got there in the first place, which is how you got to that previous peak in the first place. You weren't maybe looking at, oh, I want to be at that insanely high place. No, you were just, placing one foot in front of the other and basically upping yourself a little bit at a time. And now that you're at this bottom, right, you're not as strong as you used to be, you're a bit out of shape, whatever the reason may be, you can get there back the same way that you got there in the first place, which is just sitting one foot in front of the other, looking back at your training, what did you do previously, and trying to one up that, and before you know it, you'll be not just looking at PRs compared to the previous training, but you'll be looking around, oh shit, wait, I'm back at the mountain I climbed. Oh shit, I might even be higher. This is a lifetime PR, right? That's how you get back into shape. You just focus on one thing at a time, one step at a time, because the process is basically the same as getting or training in general, right? One step at a time. That's a principle you can always apply. Of course, aim to step one step higher as well, right? Aim to go higher, but do it in small bits, and that will get you there. And when it comes to today's training, I think it's an example of that as well. You basically just take it day by day, training by training. You look what you can do. You have all these different training approaches, right, that you can use. You have high volume, high frequency, high intensity. You have a mix of things. You have certain styles of pyramid training, whatever. You have all these trainings that you can apply in every situation that you can possibly be in. And basically, right, I don't really have a workout program, but I go with the flow a little bit, I take what's coming at me. I take how I feel on the day. I think, yeah, I can manage this. This will be challenging but doable. It will allow me to recover. And then from there, you basically, you go one step further and you have like a choice of where you want to go next. You can take a step to the left or maybe forward or maybe to the right, or in between, whatever. There's in every step you take, the next step you have an array of options to choose from. And basically it's your job to, in whatever situation you're at, figure out, what you should, what your next step should be. And you're not always going to know it perfectly, of course, but that's okay. It's okay if you're not doing the most optimal training. The most important part is that you're consistent with your training, consistent with taking those steps, and the experience will basically allow you to do better at decision making in the future. So yeah, it all boils down to train hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. The studying part is, learning from experience for the most part. Also training about new exercise styles or training styles, whatever. But yeah, today's low volume, high intensity approach is just another way of training. And, I thought it would just be useful for me at the moment to get a strong stimulus into my body after damaging it so much, but at the same time recovering because the volume is so low. And yeah, that's it for today's training. Tomorrow is going to be a push day, but now it's time for a shower and some breakfast. So I'll see you tomorrow.